I don't respect him anymore because he say I'm not gonna do what they want me to do and this and that, and then he tried to, maybe Turkey Al-Ashi told him, hey, you need to do something because you seem so nervous in Riyadh. So, and he tried to like he walking me back, and that's why I pushed him. And like I say, don't with me. September 13th, this is gonna be different for you.
I think I said this before people killed me. I said that this reminds me, and it could be like Pacquiao when he fought De La Hoya. So at the end of the day, looking forward off of the last fight with Canelo, I like Crawford every bit as much as I did before that Canelo fight.
Canelo Alvarez has delivered a blistering warning to Terence Crawford, making it clear this pound-for-pound clash will decide everything. He's ready to prove Crawford has never faced an elite force like him before.
Say anything like I'm lying or he faced maybe good fighters, but there's a difference between good fighters and elite fighters.
I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm hunting him. I'm hunting everything that he got.
Two of the best pound for pound is gonna face each other. Yeah, he's gonna find out September 13th.
Jaron Ennis, who has made rounds over the internet of possibly sparring with Canelo, made few predictions on the next fight, in which he was slightly favoring Canelo. He acknowledged that Canelo has faced bigger names, naturally bigger fighters, and has years of experience at the super middleweight level.
But I think you gotta lean more towards Canelo, because like I said before, he been putting big guys out and down, and Canelo not even really a 68 pounder. He probably really should be at 60 maybe. And he been hurting these guys. I think he be dropping these guys and things like that. So, and them guys be way bigger than him come fight night. I know that for sure. They be probably close to 200 pounds. And he dropping those guys like that.
On the other hand, Crawford is venturing into unknown territory, and this is his first experience competing in a completely different division. Rather than leaping another level altogether, Ennis suggested that Crawford should first try competing at middleweight before jumping into a fight with the undisputed champion.
It's gonna be a great fight, the fans want to see it, so so be it. I think Crawford should take a warm-up fight, at like 60, or like at least at 60, just to get his body, the feeling of somebody a little bit bigger, and things like that. I know when you go up a weight, you gotta, develop that power and not develop the power, but like put that muscle on and be heavier and things like that. So he might not want to take a fight because he's trying to build up right now, but I think he should, just to stay sharp and that way he don't have like a long layoff or anything like that.
Dawoud Bey noted that both fighters are leaving nothing to chance when it comes to their preparation. He also mentioned that there are a lot of sparring partners going to each training camp, and that Canelo and Crawford are taking this fight very seriously. He says that there is a power in which a fighter selects sparring to show how elite this fight is becoming.
I just think the sparring for this fight is elite on both sides. I think that they both taking each other seriously. You could tell that by the sparring partners that they brought in. And I'm just kind of anxious to see the fight. Like going into the fight, I just didn't like the fact that Terence Crawford had to go up 2 weight classes.
Bey admitted that he would love to fight, but he did have some personal feelings. He said that he did not like that Crawford had to jump up 2 weight classes to take a fight that had that weight jump, especially at the difficulty of it. In his voice of openness and frankness, he was speaking as a fan, not a coach, and did not want to see Crawford, whom he believed was one of the best fighters, forced into such a taxing jump.
I just didn't really like that. I mean, being honest, as a black boxing fan, when I take my coaching hat off, like, no, I don't want to see our best fighter have to go up 2 weight classes. I don't like that. But you think about it and you like, well, look, first of all, I don't want to deny that man. I wouldn't want to say nothing or even have it in my heart to deny that man that kind of financial like blessing that he gonna get from fighting Canelo. Not only that, he chasing greatness. So you look at Terence Crawford's resume, we ain't always been too great on his resume. He fought Earl Spence to this Canelo fight. I just feel like it's turning his resume into an all-time resume.
Crawford's strength coach, Chet Fortune, stated that Crawford is actually training hard in the mountains and going to shock the world. The coach thinks that it will be a historic fight and that Crawford is in great shape. The fact that he has so much belief in the power and greatness of Crawford adds a lot of traction in terms of marketing.
Listen, I get a lot of texts asking how I'm doing, how camp is going, so I figured I could just put it up in one post. So I'm in the mountains. This dude's about to beat the brakes off Canelo and be the greatest boxer of all time, and I get to play a part in it. All is well, truly well. We good. I'm good. I'm real good.
Canelo Alvarez has been putting forth maximum effort into his training camp prior to the Crawford match. People at the gym say his sparring is savage and every shot is fight night brutality. He is not just focusing on volume. The irony is that he is focusing on explosive power, pure body shots and uppercuts, which have always been in his toolbox. Ade Oladipo offered his own assessment of the fight and stated that the Crawford variable could be thought of as the boxing philosophy that leans towards boxing and dominance in its purest form. He indicated that the size factor alone is an indicator that Canelo is going to press hard and may place Crawford in a position of panic because he is already fighting at a significantly heavier weight than he has ever fought out of. Oladipo noted,
This was never about him hurting Canelo. I think this was about him just outboxing and dominating him from that standpoint. The size would suggest to me that he actually wants to have a go at Canelo, which could impact Crawford, because ultimately he's fighting at a weight that's way heavier than he's ever done before. And sparring's one thing, under the bright lights and carrying the extra weight could be another thing. So I don't know, I feel like he's going for the kill. Maybe we're going to see an Errol Spence-like performance, but I would have preferred him to stay quite light.
Ade Oladipo carried on by diminishing the size factor. He made it clear that Canelo is a strong man on default terms, not like a giant David Benavidez, and to count him out due to his fans at 200 pounds was inappropriate. In Oladipo's case, it is not about bodies, it is about performance. And with respect to raw boxing talent, he tipped in favor of Crawford. Terrence "Bud" Crawford is being hailed as a warrior, while simultaneously undergoing a ton of resisting backlash from countless camps in the boxing community over the drastic decision of changing weight to take on Canelo Alvarez. Leaving super welterweight behind and jumping up straight to super middleweight, Crawford will be skipping the middleweight division, and this move has garnered raised eyebrows from fans, trainers, and even ex-fighters. Manny Robles had no pressing position either way regarding the Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford blockbuster. He commended Canelo on his new ways, pointing out how the historic Mexican boxing star has been a furnace of late, having some good performances in big-time events, also reminding the world exactly who Canelo is and why he is at the top of the boxing rankings.
It's very highly anticipated, that Canelo versus Crawford fight.
Oh man, that's a great fight, but you're only as good as your last fight, and so we all know that Canelo didn't look too hot in his last fight, and obviously the opponent didn't help very much. He's a big guy, super middleweight, strong, solid. He's fought everybody there is to fight, with the exception of Benavidez, of course.
Robles didn't shy away from noting the greatness of Crawford, whom he certified as a great fighter and who possesses the truly unique ability to switch styles with immediacy. Robles identified Crawford's precise counterpunching as one of the most dangerous assets in boxing today. According to Robles, the combination of the momentum of Canelo and the versatility of Crawford makes this fight impossible to call a victor, and thus he cannot comfortably choose a winner.
But then you have Crawford, man, pound for pound, who I consider the best fighter in the world between him and Inoue. He's just a remarkable fighter, man. He's got the total package. He can switch from conventional to southpaw. Nobody does it better. Great counter puncher, great boxer, great ring generalship. He can fight if he chooses to. So it'd be dangerous to sit there and fight someone like Canelo, but it's just, I don't know, man. That's a toss-up. That's a 50-50 fight.
Do you see that 50-50?
Yeah, it's a 50-50.
Sean Porter made a bold prediction before the mega fight. He casually laid down $3,000 on Terrence Crawford to unseat what most thought would be the most dangerous challenge of his career. He noted the fight is razor thin and that on paper it's a 50-50, but he's to be confident in Crawford more and more.
I think Crawford's going to get the job done. I am officially picking Crawford to win this fight. It is still 50-50, but obviously...
he says that till he goes to Canelo.
I'm obviously going to say that this is a 60-40 fight, and I have Crawford winning this fight. Crawford's gonna win this fight doing something that nobody's done to Canelo.
Jojo Diaz had input about the fight too, and identified the true brute power of Canelo Alvarez as the differentiator. He recognized that the fight is simultaneously going to be elite, explosive, and thrilling. However, he calls out the brute strength from Canelo to be a point of concern, claiming no fighter has faced that kind of power like Canelo.
Canelo versus Crawford, who you got?
I got Canelo winning. I think Canelo's gonna knock him out. But
I think Canelo's gonna hurt him.
I think he's just too powerful, man, too strong. I hope Terrence Crawford does well and stuff, man, because I love the way he fights, and he's a hell of a fighter, and I respect him as well too. So I hope he puts up a good fight and everything. But at the end of the day, man, Canelo, if he catches you, dude, it's gonna knock you out.
As Diaz notes, when Canelo lands clean punches, the fight can turn in a minute. Using history, he pointed out to everyone all of the past Canelo foes that couldn't withstand the very best of Canelo's shots. To Diaz, once Crawford gets those same shots, it will be no different.
End of the day, I always say this. He took Golovkin's biggest hit, and he took Bivol' biggest hit. I don't think Crawford could knock him out.
I think Terrence Crawford can knock Canelo out if he catches him, because with Gennady Golovkin hit harder, but he was a lot slower.
Yeah.
So when Canelo seen the punches coming, he's able to embrace. I think if Terrence Crawford catches Canelo with a shot that he doesn't see coming, boom, then he could hurt him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
For Canelo, this is not just about staking his claim to dominance in the super middleweight division, but it is also initially about claiming a bigger stake for a claim as one of the greats of all time. Winning this fight would already position him at 168 pounds, the undisputed champion of champions in the Hall of Fame. For Crawford, it is even a bit more than that. He is trying to do something no fighter has done in the four-belt era, and that is to be undisputed in 3 weight classes. There is a risk in that reaching, but also an opportunity for history. The excitement surrounding Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Bud Crawford is intensifying, and understandably so. This is not just another huge gloves match, it's the fight of 2 of the best pound-to-pound boxers of their time. When together, they stood on the one platform that threatens the legacy of a generation. Super welterweight Michael, the Professor, was blunt in his analysis of the Canelo-Crawford fight, weighing boxing talent against the ugly truth about weight classes. His quote was simply a way of reminding boxing fans that size is not just a number on a scale in our sport. Size is a weapon.
I mean, logically, this weight class for a reason, but I think, as far as the skill sets go, Bud has all the skills required to beat Canelo Alvarez. I think he still has more bounce in his feet than Canelo's always been kind of flat-footed. Crawford has more bounce in his feet. He's a good counter puncher. He has a good jab. He has all the things that's required to be. The only thing that's playing against him, in my opinion, is just the weight class. And my whole thing is, it's weight class for a reason. It's hard to fight against that.
Michael acknowledged the speed and the crisp counters and technique of Crawford, but warned it is one thing to get in a hot range at higher weights, and it is another matter for talent to replace danger. As he postulated, all exchanges will be heavier, and technically, the shots received will all be heavier and dangerous. And that mass on mass on mass turned the battle into a gamble that Crawford has never taken. Respect and a tincture of awe are intrinsic in his words, which suggests why the fight is so resonant with boxing fans from around the world.
All in all, my heart is rooting with Crawford. This talks about I read everything everybody talk about he's scared. I'm like, I don't think anybody that got shot in the head and drove themselves to the hospital is scared of any man born a woman. You know what I mean? So I'm rooting for Crawford. Definitely rooting for Crawford. I'm a Canelo fan, but I've been a big Terrence Crawford fan for a long time. So it's just even before, I remember my dad was even before the Ricky Burns fight, my dad was like, hey, look, man, turn on that. Y'all need to turn on the card early. Turn the card on early, man. And watch this dude, Terrence Crawford. And he was boxing, switch hitting, and things like that. I was like, dude, nice. You know what I mean? And I've been a fan since. And then when he bust through with Gamboa, and then he started becoming a star.
On HBO.
Watched all that.
Yeah.
I watched all that. I watched Canelo too, but it's just Crawford just That dude mean.
To conclude, the gravity of the challenge is demonstrated by Canelo, who warns that Crawford cannot just stand there. His tactical jousting with Jaron Ennis, aka Boots, highlights the perilousness with which he sees the Crawford style, and all of the apparatus surrounding the fight, promotion, broadcast, monetary gain, legacy considerations, and so on can ultimately ensure that such a fight won't just be a run-of-the-mill boxing bout. Oladipo framed the fight regarding experience and reminding the supporters that Canelo Alvarez has already been in the ring with some of the top fighters the sport has ever produced. He said that for Crawford, this fight is monumental and important, but for Canelo, it is a test on a career already assembled with legends in it. He also suggested that maybe Crawford had more at stake in the fight because it has been his biggest platform to date, but for Canelo, Oladipo explained, it is just another Saturday night at the office.
You're talking about someone that's fought the best of the best. Like, this is nothing for him. Like, this is a walk for Crawford. Like, all of this is big for Crawford. For Canelo, it's like, dude, I fought Floyd. I fought Golovkin. You know what I mean? I fought Bivol. I fought Mosley. I've done everything. Like, this is your big rodeo. For me, this is a normal Saturday.
And there you have it, Canelo versus. Crawford isn't just a fight, it's a collision of legacies. One man has already proven against the giants of the sport, the other is daring to climb into uncharted territory with everything to gain. The questions are sizzling. Will Crawford's brilliance shock the world, or will Canelo's experience make this just another chapter in his legacy? This is the kind of matchup that defines eras, the kind of fight fans tell stories about for decades. Don't just watch history unfold, be a part of it. Drop your prediction in the comments, hit that like button if you're ready for fight night, and subscribe so you don't miss a single update as we march toward a September 13th showdown. Who do you get, Canelo or Crawford?